Hey guys, welcome to lesson 2 of BlueJ. So as you recall in the last video, we wanted the program to spout something out. Hello, this is lesson 1. And we can see by using the System.out.println, we can do that quite fairly easily. Also recall what I said about commenting. So it's very important to just comment. I forgot about commenting in this one. So let me just, take that out. Right. So I just forgot to comment here. But if I were to comment, I would say, the above line prints hello. This is lesson 1. Commenting, you can do, every person has their own different style of commenting. I like to make it fairly specific. And so remember, when the program, after it's done reading this line, it's not going to read this. This line is just, it's not even going to see this. This line is just for you to know. Okay? And you could put this anywhere. You could put this above here. It won't really matter. Okay? As you can see, I put it up here, and then the next one, I just put it in between the toe. The program will not read that. This is just for you. And I really recommend you guys really doing commenting quite as much as possible. So when you're doing, coding with hundreds of lines, try and make commenting very habitual now when you're starting it off, so that later on it just becomes second nature to you to comment. And I give you my word, it will really help you guys in the long run. Okay? So in this video, we had the program spout this out. However, please note that so sometimes when you're just having the program say something very specific like this, this sort of method, this way to do this, is not always efficient, or it's not always the best method to do it. Maybe we wanted to say something else as well on top of this. Then should I keep going, or what if I wanted to do some mathematical stuff with it? Should I make a new line for it? So that sounds kind of confusing right now, but as we go along, I'll show you how, what I really meant by that. So in order to make this piece of thing, how we kind of say this a bit more efficient, for the program to read, as well as, for the user or the programmer to do more stuff with it. So in order to do that, we use something called variables. Now in Java, we could have several variables like int for numbers, car or for letters, string for pieces of text, boolean, and etc. And hopefully I'll go through like several variables with you one by one as we go along, just to see what kind of cool things we can do with each of the variables. But definitely I'll go through them one by one. So in this case, this hello, this is lesson 1, is a piece of text. So when you're dealing with pieces of text, we use the string variable. So in order to introduce a string variable, we just type in string, and the syntax is string, and then right after that we have a name for the string variable. It could be anything. It could be A, ABD, AAD, or it could be something that, that it defines. So for now, let's have, let's just say A, or lesson 1. Let's just say A, just to see if it works. The string A, we're going to make that equal to the actual thing we wanted to say. So in the previous one, we said, hello, this is lesson 1. Let's just have something else. Let's just say, hey, how are you? Okay? So we're going to, in order to say, after the equal sign for a string, we have quotation marks. So we have quotation marks to open and then to end off as well. Kind of similar to this. And that's because both of these deal with text. Okay? Now this suggests that this string variable called A represents or equals to, hey, how are you? So now we wanted to sort of print this out, right? We wanted to say this, instead of saying this. So how do we do that? So if I were to do hey, how are you? That would kind of defeat the purpose. That would be the same thing. We don't want this. To make this program more efficient, instead of having this actual, wording, we put in the variable that represents this wording. And remember, after every line we have a semicolon. I forgot about that. And so this is actually pretty much it. So the program will go through these. It's going to read here, and it's going to say that there's a variable called A. It's a string variable. And this string variable called A represents or is equal to, hey, how are you? So within these quotation marks. And then there's a semicolon. Tells it to go to the next line. And the program, what it's going to do is it's going to System.out.println. It's going to print this variable called A. Now it's not gonna actually say A. It's gonna say what A represents, which is hey, how are you? So let's just compile that. We have no errors. Let's go back to this main thing. We're gonna do the same thing as we did earlier. And as you see here in the output, it's hey, how are you? It's not just A. It's what A represents. Hey, how are you? And as you go into more complicated pieces of coding, you'll see why doing it, why not having the actual phrase here is not always the best option. Sometimes, or more often than not, you may want to just use a string variable, and then put it in. So it'll make things a lot easier. Okay? So thanks for lesson 2. See you guys next time on lesson 3.